right, Jane Velez-Mitchell, explain this to me, because, you know, in advance of this appearance on Dancing with the Stars, a lot of people were demanding that ABC cancel Chris Brown's appearance. Tom Bergeron, the host of the show, even said that he was questioning the idea that Chris is appearing on this thing after the big GMA rampage. Look, you and I have been to TV tapings. We know there are applause signs, and that gets people up to stand and applaud. But would you say that this was real at all, or was this just the result of people being coached?
I think it was real because it was an amazing performance. He was at the top of his game. He was literally doing flips. He was singing his heart out. It was very coordinated. I have no problem with Chris Brown's performance on stage. It's his behavior off stage that I have a problem with. I think most people would agree. His propensity toward violence and sometimes rage. And watching that very energetic performance, it occurred to me somebody needs to teach him to channel all his anger into his art and express it in an artful way, not with fists.
Yeah, no question about that. Lauren, obviously he's got talent. That's why he's number one today with the album having just come out last week. Is there any doubt in your mind that people were standing and applauding because they loved his performance, or do you think it was just a matter of a sign flashing in their face?
I think there were probably people there who were uncomfortable, and yet, as Jane said, this young man was doing what he's best at. He's a great performer, and I think at the end of the day, when everybody stood up, they said, okay, well, I'll stand too. He was great, and this is what we need to recognize and applaud him for.
Right. Okay, well, not only did Chris Brown appear to ace Dancing with the Stars, as I mentioned, he is acing the charts, with us getting the news today that his new album, Fame, debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200. That is the first time that's ever happened to him in his career. This is why we're asking today in our Showbiz Tonight exclusive poll, Chris Brown, he deserves his success? Yes, he's talented, or no, it's rewarding bad behavior. You can vote at CNN.com/Showbiz Tonight. Jane Velez-Mitchell, what's your vote? He deserves it. He's being rewarded for bad behavior. What do you think?
Well, I think in a way he is being rewarded for bad behavior in that it was the big elephant in the room that was dancing around with him at the time.
Yeah.
And it would have been better somehow that we are able to address it, either an interview where he had to acknowledge it. It was sort of in a vacuum. We see this great performance, but we all know the backstory of how he allegedly threw a chair and shattered a window very recently. And then, of course, you've got the domestic violence previous to that. So I would like to see him clear that up once and for all.
Right.
How can he do that?
He apologized. And I think that night was about the performance. Who wants to hear about a window crashing when we're trying to look at ballroom dancing?
But the truth is, even the great Russell Simmons, you know, one of hip-hop's greatest legends in making stars like Chris Brown the stars that they are, said to me on this very program that he felt that the publicity, the collateral publicity he got from that whole incident is what helped propel his album to #1.
But that's not his fault. We all gave it to him.
Well, there's a part of that as well. That's why, you know, that's kind of the rewarding bad behavior. Maybe we need to keep an eye on that. But wherever Chris Brown goes, the fact is the shadow of his brutal beating of Rihanna and his conviction for it follows. And there's a remarkable new interview with Rihanna. It was revealed today. Brooke, tell us about that.
Yeah, AJ, there are incredible revelations from Rihanna about her feelings for Brown now and why she agreed to let a judge relax a restraining order against him. Rihanna tells Rolling Stone magazine that she didn't want to hurt his career and says, we don't have to talk ever again in my life. I just didn't want to make it more difficult for him professionally. What he did was a personal thing. It had nothing to do with his career, saying he has to be 100 feet away from me. He can't perform at awards shows. That definitely